the chilling tale of the Texas woman linked to multiple deaths. In the serene suburbs of Texas, a dark and horrifying saga began to unravel in early June 2024. It started with a single arrest that would snowball into one of the most chilling crime stories in recent memory, capturing the nation's attention and leaving a trail of mystery and fear. Chapter 1. The Arrest. It was an ordinary day when the local police department made an extraordinary arrest. The woman, whose name is withheld pending the ongoing investigation, was taken into custody for the suspected murder of one individual. The circumstances of the arrest were routine, yet the implications would soon prove anything but. As officers combed through the crime scene, they found disturbing evidence that suggested a more sinister pattern. Initial forensic analysis hinted at similarities with other unsolved cases. The meticulous nature of the crime indicated a methodical perpetrator, someone who had potentially evaded justice for a long time. Chapter 2. Connecting the dots. By mid-June, the investigation had broadened significantly. Detectives began to connect the woman to a series of other suspicious deaths. These cases, previously thought to be isolated incidents, started to form a coherent and alarming picture. The forensic team identified matching patterns, including the use of rare poisons and similar staging of crime scenes. Each new piece of evidence painted a portrait of a serial offender with a calculated approach to her crimes. The investigation was no longer about a single murder, it was about unraveling a potential spree that could span years and claim multiple victims. Chapter 3. A Grim Discovery. As the investigation deepened, more bodies were metaphorically unearthed. The authorities suspected that the woman could be linked to as many as 20 deaths. This revelation sent shockwaves through the community and the nation. The media dubbed her the Texas Reaper, a moniker that reflected the severity and mystery of her alleged crimes. Family members of the victims were contacted, and their grief was compounded by the horrific realization that their loved ones might have been part of a serial killing spree. The police worked tirelessly, re-examining old cases and gathering testimonies that had once been dismissed as inconclusive. Chapter 4. Evidence mounts. By early July, the evidence against the suspect had grown substantially. Toxicology reports, digital footprints, and witness statements began to form a damning case. Each new discovery provided more context to the chilling narrative. The suspect's internet searches, found on her seized electronic devices, revealed an unsettling fascination with poisons and how to mask them in everyday items. The authorities also uncovered correspondence that hinted at the woman's possible motives. Financial gain, personal vendettas, and a twisted sense of power were among the speculated reasons. The narrative that emerged was of a person who carefully selected her victims and executed her plans with chilling precision. Chapter 5. The Charges and Public Reaction. In mid-July, the woman was officially charged with multiple counts of murder. The courtroom was packed with media, family members of the victims, and curious onlookers. The indictment read like a horror novel, detailing a series of calculated and cold-blooded killings. Public reaction was immediate and intense. News outlets covered every detail of the case, from the suspect's background to the gruesome specifics of each alleged murder. Social media buzzed with theories, outrage, and fear. The community, once peaceful, was now gripped by a sense of vulnerability and betrayal. Chapter 6. The Trial Ahead. As the legal proceedings began, it was clear that the trial would be a landmark case. The prosecution prepared to present a mountain of evidence, while the defense geared up for what promised to be a complex and high-profile battle. The suspect's mental state, past trauma, and potential accomplices were all expected to be pivotal points of contention. Experts predicted that the trial could last for months, with numerous witnesses and a deep dive into forensic evidence. The outcome, whether it resulted in the death penalty or life imprisonment, would set a precedent and possibly influence future legal and investigative approaches to similar cases. Chapter 7. Broader Implications. Beyond the courtroom. The case sparked wider discussions on multiple fronts. Law enforcement agencies reviewed their protocols for identifying patterns in serial crimes, aiming to prevent future tragedies. Mental health professionals debated the underlying causes that might drive someone to commit such heinous acts. Legislators and public officials also weighed in, proposing reforms to improve monitoring and intervention strategies. The case of the Texas woman linked to multiple deaths became a catalyst for change, urging society to address the dark undercurrents that can lead to such devastating outcomes. In conclusion, the story of the Texas woman linked to multiple deaths is still unfolding, with each day bringing new revelations and deeper understanding. As the nation watches, one can only hope that justice will be served and the lessons learned will help prevent future tragedies. This case, a grim reminder of the potential for darkness within, underscores the importance of vigilance, compassion, and the relentless pursuit of truth. This narrative, filled with twists and turns, serves as a stark reminder of the complexities of human nature and the critical role of law enforcement in keeping our communities safe.
This was the story of Melissa Carpenter, a 42-year-old resident of suburban Dallas, Texas, became the center of one of the most chilling investigations in recent memory. On June 3, 2024, Carpenter was arrested on suspicion of murdering a local man, John Reynolds, whose death was initially believed to be from natural causes. As of late June 2024, Melissa Carpenter remains in custody while the investigation continues. The authorities are re-examining old cases and gathering testimonies that were previously dismissed as inconclusive. The media has dubbed her the Texas Reaper, reflecting the severity and mystery of her alleged crimes.
Subscribe for more videos.